Guys, so day 3, I promised you guys I was going to do a lens tutorial. That is happening here in about a few seconds, but I just wanted to give you an update on the puff painting so far. I haven't done much puff painting because I had school today, but I finished all the hexagon pattern in between all of like the legs and everything, and then I just puff painted the last 2 legs of the spider, so that should be like drying soon. I'm actually really liking the way this is turning out, because I wanted like this to be blue, but I didn't want it to be like so like bright comic booky type blue. Here, let me turn this off, see if that makes it better. And turn this on. Oh, that didn't really help, but yeah, turning it like that helps. Alright, well, when I originally started puff painting it, I didn't really want it to be a, like a really bright comic booky type blue. I wanted it to still look like it could be a symbiote. Ooh, I just touched it. I still wanted it, it's cold. I still wanted it to be like a symbiotic suit. So, like, I didn't want the blues to be too bright. And it's actually coming out really well. Like, you can still tell it's a symbiotic suit, like, through it. And even to darken it up a little, I'm gonna go through, like, all of it and, like, go in between with a black marker. Black fabric marker, and go in between all of the little hexagon shapes. And this is, wipe this off. This is really annoying. Did it damage it? Just go in and fix that real quick, because that's gonna be, like, annoying me. Well, this intro turned out to be a lot longer than I thought it would be. Yeah. For the suit, guys, just so you... Oh, that was my phone. For the suit, guys, just so you know, I wasn't trying to get it perfectly flat. I was actually swirling it around a little bit to get more of like an organic type look out of it. So, I think that's turning out pretty well. Now, this is not silver, this is metallic black, which is also going to be all of the webbing too, so that's going to look really cool when it's done. But today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make lenses. So, what you are going to need is you're going to need a companion. Bella, come here. Just somebody to keep you company. Alright guys, I'm pulling out my shoes for you. These are just washed. Still green, but that's okay because they're going to be spray painted black. Still green. But they're going to be spray painted black, so just have to set them out to air dry. I'll just set them right here so they can dry overnight. Yep, there's my shoes. So, alright, for starting your lenses, what you want to need most of all is the foam, as I said before. This is actually really good because you can make about, I would say maybe 4 sets of lenses out of 1 sheet, and each sheet is maybe $1.30 at, that's how much it was at my Michaels when I got it. So, what you're also going to want to do is draw out the lens shape that you want onto a piece of paper. Now, I already drew mine out and cut it out. This is the lens shape I want. Now, what you can also do is go online and find a picture if you want like a specific lens type. That's what I did with the Tasm lenses. I went online, found a picture, sized it up, and like scaled it and stuff with my printer, and I got a pretty good result. So I did that, and it worked pretty well. I've got my Tasm lenses on one of my shelves. I'm not going to pull that out now, but that is for a future video. So what you want to do is you want to lay out your lens on here, and I would suggest that you have one piece of paper, like one lens, just so you can like flip it over onto the next one. And that is also, this like is the reason that I also have you guys get the pen that doesn't work, because once you have this, you're just gonna go around and slightly press down on the outside and make like, and just trace your template onto the foam. This is 5mm foam, by the way, just in case you guys were wondering. This is the same thing that I made my face shell out of. I will not be teaching you guys how to do magnets as of right now because I don't got time for that. So for right now, I'm just gonna be doing like gluing this to the suit. I have I haven't decided whether I'm gonna use E6000 or hot glue to do that. Alright, when you're tracing your lenses, make sure you do both the inside and the outside, so you don't have to like reline it up and everything once you do the first part. Okay, so once you have it, it should look like indented like that. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, it should look like indented like that. So what you want to do after that is get your box cutter. Now this is why I have you guys get the new blade, because this is where it really counts, because you want a clean foam cut for this. You don't want to end up with, like when I did my TASM lenses, you don't want to end up with like this on the inside, like this weird scaly looking thing on the inside. So always get a like a fresh new blade unless you've only used it like once. Let me just switch that out now. Brand new blade. Slide that all the way in. Make sure I don't cut myself in the process, because I have done that before. Let me just there we go. Now it's all the way in. Brand new blade. And now I'll be able to make those clean cuts that I want. Another thing that would also help with clean cuts is probably if you have a lighter heating the blade. That also helps get really, really nice clean cuts. So what you want to do is, I usually cut out the inside first. You go all the way through, and this is, for me, the inside is usually just straight up and down. I'll explain to you why that's important here in a second. Usually just 90 degrees on the inside. Straight up and down angle. Alright, once you have the inside cut out, you see nice clean cuts. None of the little weird stuff. Alright, now once you have the inside cut out, we're going to make a bevel on the outside, which would give you this effect here, like the beveled look. Like if you see it from the side, you can see how it sort of slants out. It's going to give you that look. So what you want to do is, instead of going straight up and down, you tilt the blade when you cut. Now cutting corners of bevels is a little harder, so I normally start a little further out so you can cut that corner a little easier. Just make sure you stay consistent with your bevel the whole time. Let me just do this side real quick. So now I have it cut out and it's beveled. Now if it's a little bigger than you expected, it's okay. Just grab a pair of scissors which I'm going to go find now. Hold on. Alright guys, I found them. So let me just put my phone down. So if it's like too big or you want like a specific point, like just I don't like want this little bump here, you can either go in with your box cutter and try and fix it. And I usually do like little knife cutting moves so it can get in, and then it still has a few awkward little edges, so on the edge it doesn't really matter if it looks perfect. You can go around and just snip off the very edge of it. Not too much because you don't want it to look like it bevels and then it just stops abruptly and like goes straight down, but just enough so that it's to your liking. What you can also do is, if you have a Dremel, you can sand the top. You can sand the top down. And then that will also help smooth out. It will help smooth it out a little bit. Now, I'm almost done with these lenses. Just give me a bit of patience, guys, because I'm trying to do this underneath the camera, so it makes it a little bit harder. Make sure I can do it to where you guys can still see. Now, normally what I do for the inside edges, if I want to do that, is flip it over, take a box cutter, and do the inside edges like that. It's a little easier considering it's straight up and down that you did it originally, unless you want to do a bevel on the inside. And you can correct it like that, just straight up with the box cutter. Do a few edges like that, but mostly this bottom part, I don't know why, but it is. Just a little bit more. Alright, I think that looks pretty good for a lens. Now, for any little awkward edges or anything, you want to get a, oh, hold on, let me fix this with scissors real quick, that'll annoy me. Alright, once you get all of like the edges and everything that you want, it's still going to look a little rough, so what I would suggest is getting a sanding block. It's just a little block for like sanding, and so I use this to go around on the inside edges and just fix it up a little where there's a few awkward edges and stuff like that, if you want a really nice and smooth look. And just as a note, this will look smoother once you paint it, because the paint will fill in like small cracks and stuff. So just remember that. You guys will see that here in a second once I paint it for all of the YouTubes to see. Alright, hold on. Now in this video I'm only going to be doing one lens just because it's easier and I just need to get a point across to you guys. Alright, so I think that looks pretty good as like a symbiotic type of lens for, you know, my suit. Alright, we'll head outside and I'll do spray paint there. Alright, we're outside, and it is nighttime, so I do have a flashlight. You know, like if I take it off, you can barely see anything. But I do have a flashlight. So, what you're going to want to do is, I use a clear coat. I use a clear coat spray paint first, because it gets like it gets a nice shine to it. Ooh, paper towel. That's another thing. Oh dear. Don't do this on a, like, just any surface. Lay something down so you have something to work on. Don't just, you know, just do it anywhere, because spray paint will, like, attach and, like, it won't come off. So, now I have a clear coat done. Oh no! No, 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 no! It's blowing away! Spray paint, save it! Oh my gosh, that was not good at all. Alright, I learned my lesson. I put spray paint on the edges of the thingy. Oh my gosh, it scared me a little. Put a few twigs on there. Keep that down while I take a risk of painting this without the can. Alright. Now, I'm just going to go inside real quick, wait for this to dry a little, and then... Oh, I probably won't leave this outside. Hold on, let me figure this out. Alright. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one of these clear cups, and you're going to cut it apart. You're going to want to cut the bottom and the top piece off. Like, if it has any ridges like this, it will not, like, bend out of the cup shape. Like, I'll show you here. Let me just cut the bottom part off, because obviously it's not going to flatten out if you have this bottom part on. So, like, when you have the top part on, it will not, like, it'll flatten out, but the top still curls. So you're gonna want to have to, like, cut. I don't know if you can even see those ridges on the camera. Yeah, you can. Like, you can see where the light, like, sort of reflects over it. You're gonna want to cut this off. I always do that in my videos. I always say wanna gonna instead of gonna wanna. I don't even know if that's proper grammar. Oh well. You are going to want to cut that off. So now you have a piece that can flatten out for 2 lenses. So just cut this in half so you can use it for 2 lenses. I normally, like, fold it in the middle because, you know, whatever. And then cut down the middle. So now you have enough for 1 lens. Now, I've already pre-cut the mesh. This is swimming trunk netting. If you're a girl and you're trying to do this, try and find it from a brother or your dad. See if they'll give it up. You know, you can, if you're older and you have children, you can get it from one of your sons. You know, there's a whole bunch of different ways you can do this. Some people, like, when they do it professionally and they try to get a movie replica, which this is not, they use, like, a perforated window mesh, and, you know, that seems to work for them, so I would suggest that too, if you want to go for more of a movie type look. But yeah, so what you're going to want to do is lay it flat over here, like flat over this. Make sure it fits on. I did leave extra room on the outside because I am going to be hot gluing this. So flatten out the mesh, depending on what lens you're using or you want it to be on. You can have this on the inside or you can have it on the outside. To me, it doesn't really matter. I personally like it on the outside because, like, it has that shimmer effect, but you can still see, like, the mesh, and the mesh blocks off a little. When you have it on the inside, you just have a shimmer effect across and you can't really, you know, I can't really do anything about that. I just personally like the outside better. I like the sort of effect that gives. But the lens that I'm making right now is facing this way. So I'm going to flip it over. And I got my hot glue gun ready a little bit before I came in here. You are going to, you're going to put hot glue just across the top. Only across the top. Try and get it as close to the edge of this netting as possible. Once you do that, ow, that burns. Ooh, that burned a lot. Okay, once you do that, move it to where you want it to be on this plastic. I want it to be about there. And let it set. Oh, that burned a lot. And that was through my nail. Just imagine how much hot glue would burn if I got it like on my skin. Not good, not good. Alright. So once that's dry, you guys can, you know, you guys will be able to tell when it's dry. I don't really have to tell you a specific time slot. But, you know, as it dries, you give you a little visual test. Just get all the way to the lens. Now it's pretty good vision, if I do say so myself. Now, depending on how much of a good vision you want, the good thing about this is you can stretch it out a little. So you can have like even better vision, like normal. And like you can stretch it out. But you can see pretty clearly through these. I'm very proud of these. I think I showed you guys the vision in the last, episode, but who knows. So once you do that, you are going to want to. Oh, I got a little hot glue there. Let me just peel that off real quick. That's another good thing about hot glue. If you get it somewhere and you don't want it, you can just peel it off. And even if it is there, all depending on where it is, it won't even affect the vision. Like, if it's in the top corner, you can still see mostly through. What you want to remember is that your eye is most likely going to be in this area, so if you do make a mistake, try and keep it in this area. Or try to keep it out of this area. Because that's where your eyes go. So after this is dry, you're going to have to go around the edge again, just little bits at a time, to, you know, fully go around the whole thing. Now do remember, after this is done, we are going to cut this to fit, because like I cut this freehand, but this is bigger than the lens. So you're going to cut this to fit later on. Make sure it dries. Alright. So you just keep doing that until it's done. Like, all the way around. I think I'm just going to skip to that for you guys so you don't have to sit through the whole process. Oops, hit my camera. Alright guys, sorry the washer is on, but the clear coat is completely dry. Don't worry if it looks a little crusty or anything like that, because we're going over with black next. So let's take this outside. Gosh, I don't know why it's so windy out here, but I told my brother and my sister about my experience with, you know, nearly losing my lens at night, and they started laughing. They're like, Florida should be changed from the Sunshine State to Wind City. That made me laugh a little. Alright, so once you have your black, the reason I put the clear coat on is because this is foam, so paint sort of absorbs into the foam. So you want to put a clear coat on so like it absorbs into the foam. After that, just go over with black. You can go over with as much paint as you want. And that's how it looks before it dries. It's not that shiny when it does dry. But, you know, get a little shimmer effect there. It's not as shiny out as it normally is, but just make sure this didn't bleed through or anything. Oop, very close, but not very close, but no cigar. And so we'll let that dry, and then we'll get back to the lens and putting the mesh that we just made into here, like into this. So we'll be back in just a second. Alright, I brought this back in for you guys to see how it's doing drying wise. It is almost there. It's starting to dry more on this side. Got still quite a bit to go on this side to dry, but it's pretty good on this side. That's almost what it looks like when it's done, like pretty much that color. You can go with as many coats as you want depending on how shiny you want it, but I'm just going to stick with one coat because I don't think I want it to be too shiny. So let's head back to the mesh and see how that's going. Alright, so the mesh is completely finished drying. Sort of dropped it there. The mesh is completely finished drying. Now, what you want to do after the mesh is completely finished drying is take your scissors and cut around all of the hot glue. Like where you hot glued, just cut around all of that. Cut off a little bit of the extra fabric too in the process. May need to re-glue this spot over. But alright, so now you have this. Don't worry about little like frillies on the side or anything like that, because that's all going to be covered up by the frame itself when that's done. So as of right now, the lens frame is drying. The mesh is finished. We just need to hot glue this to the lens. I'm not going to be able to show you guys how to attach this to like the whole lens itself to the mask just yet, because I have to still make the mask, which will probably be done during next weekend, or not next weekend, this weekend, because this weekend we actually have a long weekend. So I'll be able to do it for you guys then, because I think we have Friday and also Monday off for this weekend. So I mean, that's me personally, and that's great because it gives me like extra time to work on this for you guys. I'll be able to get a lot done for you guys while that's taking place. So lens is done. While the frame is drying, let me do a quick update for you guys on the process of my shirt. Alright, you guys have already seen the front, you know, this is unpuff painted. This will probably be done like throughout the week. I might do the webbing tomorrow and then like the big main spider like another time. But yeah, this is the front, and then the back is what I really wanted to show you guys. The back right now it has scaling like down the back, so you can see like the blue, and that's like actually a really nice look. Like that's really what I wanted to go for when I did that. So let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. Like that's really what I wanted to get when I did that. So it came out really nice, like the blue. And like, gosh, I feel so weird, especially when it's like almost skin tight on my back. It's a little cold too. But then like I also completely finished the back spider. So that's done, and I can finally flip it over to do the webbing. So you guys will be seeing that happening maybe, most likely tomorrow I'll be able to start that. So it's just so weird thinking that this scaling is going to be like all the way across like my body to like here and everything like that. So that's gonna be a new feeling. Zoom this out for you guys. But yeah, it's just a quick update on the shirt part of it. The pants are actually, as of right now, sitting right here in my chair. The shoes are out there air drying, as I said earlier. Those will probably be spray painted. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know. Alright guys, so now both items are dry. Now this is fully puff painted. Or not puff painted, but spray painted. Looking pretty good. Don't worry about the back because nobody's going to see the back. But the front is fully spray painted. Looks pretty good. It's bendable, so just by brute force I'm pretty sure you can, or even like just use the side of your heat gun, your hot glue gun. Do that and bend it a little and it'll stay bended if you want it to. If you don't, later when I do my TASM lenses, which are actually up on the shelf over there, you guys will see how I bend lenses and do domed lenses and stuff like that. Right now we're just doing flat, but I'll show you guys how to do domed later. Hold on, my mom's calling me. Alright guys, sorry about that, but I am back. I can't really remember what I was saying at all, so let's just go to this. This is completely spray painted, so this is a complete lens. Now, what you want to do when you get like this combo together is, don't be concerned this will bend a little bit. That's a good thing. Bending is a good thing. But once you have it, it's gonna look like that. So all you really need to do is go around, hot glue the mesh to the outside of the lens. And then anything hanging off on the outside will just be like scraps that you can go in and get rid of. And just snip them around the edge as close as possible. Make sure you can't see them from like the front. So let me just go and do that real quick, and that'll be the end of my tutorial for today. Just sit down. Oh dear. If you ever make a mistake like that, just, ooh, that burns, I need to rethink my process of doing stuff like that. Learn from my mistakes, guys. Don't do that. Oh my gosh, it hurts so bad. Alright. Don't do that. Alright, just go around as close to the edge as possible with the hot glue. So once you have it close to the edge, make sure you don't have any of those little stringy things. You can go ahead and attach your mesh to the lens. And just a reminder, the reason mine went on so cleanly without me having to like cut anything else is because this was pre-cut. I cut this before I did the video. It may not end up like this for you guys. You guys may have to go around and cut around the edge like that. So, I mean, I sort of have to right here. Hold on, I sort of have to right here just to get rid of some of this. Alright, so the hot glue is dry. So now here is the completed lens. This is a fully completed lens. This is only one. I need to do the second one later. But I just wanted to do this one for a tutorial for you guys because I promised that I would do this for like a long time now, and I haven't gotten that done for you guys, so now you guys finally have it, that it was uploaded. You guys have your lens tutorial for foam lenses, mesh, plastic, and then visibility is also really good. As I've shown you guys many times before, it's maybe fourth or fifth time showing you guys that lenses are complete. You get the little glossy shimmer effect coming off of it. So yeah, that's how you make a lens with money. Money obviously, but that's how you make a lens. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.